Mr. Dave out here on the rock pile in Poway doing our slide, man. This is our pre-pour concrete that we use before we get the shotcrete truck in here. We finish out little detail areas, set some finish lines for the shotcrete guys so they know where to finish to. That's like down on the slide we do some ribs of concrete. And so I did a rebar bubble, part of a design on the side of the slide, trying to break up our big long slide structure. And somebody pouring concrete in there. I got that all prepped and ready to go right down here. And the rocks on the pool, on the slide at the bottom, are pretty much ready for shotcrete. I just have to extend that front portion right there a little bit, get that going. And what's happening out there? And so we've got the rebar steel in the trough of the slide that's going down the middle of it. We dug out the floor, we did our steps, so the whole slide is actually sitting on flat surfaces. All these pieces of rebar coming up are uprights along the perimeter. We did those, made those little extra footings down in there. All the dirt we ended up with, we just backfilled it down in here. And so we didn't have to haul it out. The way we did that is we used pegboard, adobes, or just pieces of concrete out there. What's going on, Rick? Hope you're having a good day, bro, or had a good day. So we're just talking about the slide out here in Poway, California. They're doing a new terrazzo, I think, coping on this pool, which is really, really nice. Beautiful stone. And then they're using flagstone along the edge. Now that I get my finger out of the way. Really cool. It had a bullnose stone and I think 1-inch tile. Very popular approach to these things years ago. Here's all the real rock that they put together to make a really nice waterfall. This is the original pool builders. Gardner's doing all the remodel here. Gardner Pool Plastering out here in Southern California. In any event, I get a chance to come in here. I'm going to put a slip sheet underneath the rebar so the whole slide can expand and contract separate from the pool. It's a good idea to keep those guys separate. Otherwise, they can cause a crack. And I've seen that right there where you'd expect it on the slides a lot of times. Burlap on the inside. We got pegboard where we need it. This allowed for us to backfill all the extra soil and dirt that we created, cutting out our notches in the hill. We make steps first, gives us a chance to walk around, and then we dig down little stair steps all the way along the sides, and I do my 5-foot uprights, rebar uprights along those areas, and then I bend them down in. Could probably cut them off, a lot of them, and reuse them, but I don't know. I like having more rebar than not enough. It's a lot of rebar. I'm going to put some more trough length rebar sticks down in there to fill in those gaps. Otherwise, it's looking pretty good. So here's the rock. I just I'm going to be just threw it together. Dug out the footing, pre-bent the rebar. I mixed up the concrete, like I said. That's going to go in this little trench here. And tomorrow or whenever we can do the burlapping, and this one will be ready for shotcrete day. See if I can walk up this slope without falling on my butt. We've been working in the nights a little bit on occasion here to kind of get caught up. So probably a 35, maybe 40-foot slide. I don't know, something like that. It's going to be a good little run down into the pool. And so I'm just about ready to call the shotcrete company and get it booked. In fact, I probably could do that now. Using the pegboard again to fill in the space around this area. We created a whole big pile over on this right side. I got a bucket on the sprinkler because it wants to give me a bath in the afternoon about 4 o'clock. Not cool, man. So we took all this soil here and put it inside this area. And this is where the slide kicks up off the dirt and starts to pitch up. I want to give the riders a nice little ride, kicking them off. And the whole outsides of it, we just full rock it out. So this whole thing will be out here, will be a big boulder. which hard to see when it's just rebar. On video maybe, well, yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's going to be a big boulder like this that goes up to that peak. There's some planes on it, so it has a little bit more of a different facets or faces. This is the stairs going into the slide. Big one. I usually do big steps, and then I'll add a little smaller one, half the distance a lot of times. So you kind of got to do your little bouldering on up to get there. This is our 2-inch feed pipe. I'm going to split it into two 1.5-inch pieces of PVC. And that's the ride going on down the side there. You won't be able to really see where you're going, which is always more exciting. So I got to finish the plumbing, and then just the last of this rebar. This is a little rebar rock to kind of try and hide the slides a little bit. And you'll have a little seating area on the side. Oh, raise the camera, Dave. And there'll be a piece of rebar on there. I'm waiting to fill this in so I can do my plumbing more easily. I've tried to put it in after the rebar's all in, and it's right under unnecessary confusion and challenging and difficulties. So these pieces are upright steel. I can create a little box around them, fill them up with concrete, or I can spray Rust-Oleum rust preservative. Once the structure is built, those aren't really needed because there's so much rebar going all the way around this whole encased structure. So pegboard's cool. You can do a lot with it. You get that adobe in there, and I know I'm going to get the thickness I need, that spacing between the concrete and between, the rebar and the outer edge of the concrete. So I'm not going to be rusting out this stuff really super fast, which is, we don't want that. So I've actually done a complete grottos with this pegboard. And when they're on the inside, we just pop the wires and take them off, and then we plaster the walls a little bit, try and get more characteristics, cracks coming down, angles, whatever makes it look more natural, all natural. And so I highly recommend pegboard. So I like to build stuff, pre-pour stuff before shotcrete day, just because. So I can climb over this with my boots and I kill myself. Whoa! All right. Because I found in the past when I had to do, hey Matthew, what's shaking? When I tried to do the shotcrete all in one day, and including all the detailed areas, the edge of the slide, some of the rock work, tops of the rock works and stuff, the boulders, I'll try and pre-pour some of those areas, the steps going up to the slide, or if it's a big grotto, I'll pour those all ahead of time so I can get those all stabilized. So when they do the shotcrete, they can climb up the structure with a good stable footing. And I try to make sure, I do make sure that those places I pour are already like the finished thickness. So I definitely have that I have that 1.5 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, what have you, on the pour. So it's awesome. You can see the rock here. We're trying to give it some ins and outs. A lot of times rocks end up looking a little marshmallowy, flintstony, and it's kind of funky boogie. So trying to offset things. You want asymmetrical symmetry, if that makes any sense. Balanced composition with your stones, your rock work. Let's walk over here and check out the rocks. These are all real rocks. These are definitely big time backhoes and cranes where they set these in. They had to pre-pour this whole area with, I imagine, at least a foot fully steeled to take the weight of these bad boys. These things are huge. These are many, many thousands of pounds of real rocks. They're beautiful though. They're all dusty right now, but you can see when you look at them, they just have all that rich color. On the size of your hand, you have like a whole spectrum of colors. And these are pretty varied, but it can get even crazier. There's a pond, there's a moat around the spa, and the waterfall comes down and comes off the edge of these more flat rocks. So they did a good job. So whenever you're doing real rocks, you got to support them. If you're putting them on the edge of the pool, like we have down here, if I can hold the camera and talk, They need to have a full supported, engineered structure underneath there with rebar. Otherwise, this guy could actually cause a failure of the bond, I think, a little bit. But engineers know more about that. So you can see they've got a step there for those stones down there. Looks like a bench, kind of the same kind of idea. So that supports the weight of those two. And probably with that support there, that takes care of this bad boy too. But very nice job. It's dammed up right here, these two corners, by more stones, so that drops into the swimming pool as well when it's running. So they did a great job with these real rocks. Just doing a little departure on the waterfall there, which I think they did a great job. Again, at the end of the slide, I'm going to put a slip sheet there. Oh, trying to fall in the pool. As I gotten older, I'm 62, had a couple of kidneys that worked, a couple that didn't. I really try to slow down and walk more carefully, because not a good time to twist an ankle and fall into the pool, end up dangling by the rebar, all busted up, trying to use my cell phone to call for help. That'd be very embarrassing. So underneath here, we're going to put a piece of visqueen plastic. Going to put a little piece of expansive foam along the edge of it, although I don't know that I even need it with dirt. I can backfill the dirt up and over that, and that'll serve the same purpose, because that could compress. I'm going to add a little bit more right here on right over the coping. Again, I'm just going to float that over it. One thing I try to do is finish out that edge as really tight as I can. If I need to, on the very last day before I shoot color on it, or days, I try to put a little bit along the edge so you can't see a shadow. Obviously, a shadow underneath the rock on this looks like it was added to it. We don't want that look. We want it to look natural and real. So, all by myself. My kids, Daniel and Michael, are up at another job, getting ready for a big recolor about a half hour from here. And so they will be getting that ready. Hopefully it'll all be taped off, power wash taped off, masked, and ready for the sprayer to spray the color and make it beautiful. So we want to make everything beautiful. Life should be beautiful. Yes, I agree. So hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for checking out this little live video. Hope you're having your family's having a having good days these days. Trying to get sucked into the fear. There's a lot more of that going on than necessary. Want to live our lives. Be smart, but don't be shivering and shaking in your house, afraid to go outside. If you're outside walking around, by the way, you don't need a mask, man. If you're riding your car by yourself, I don't know why you don't have a mask on then. There are some studies that show masks hardly do anything. But in any event, if it makes you feel comfortable, wear your mask. So yeah, try and be thankful for giving of others who didn't vote the way you wanted to. I like to add to my videos these days. We're in this together, as it were, and we don't want to get ripped apart by maybe forces that are bigger than us that are trying to do that. That's my opinion. We all bleed red, and we want to try and care for one another. Be patient, be kind to yourself and others. So anyway, my little spiel. If you want to learn how we do this, I've got a lot of free stuff out there. PDF downloads you can get at davehenderson.podia.com. My first name Dave Henderson, last name podia.podia.com. davehenderson.podia.com. If this is coming through as far as the sound goes, I don't know where the speaker is or the microphone is on this camera. Anyway, free PDF downloads, got some courses there you could check out. My most recent one is pretty much the whole enchilada, over 5 hours of videos in 8 sessions, 10 videos. Really tried to put everything in there. There's 79 pages in total of PDF downloads. You can download those and follow along on each course. Everything from how to bid a job, how to come up with your supplies, materials, how to price out a job, if you're wanting to run a business, do business stuff this way. And I don't know if I put marketing in there too. Probably a little bit. Anyway, you can grab that if you want. Learn everything I pretty much know, and then on my my blogs and links are at daverhenderson.com, www.daverhenderson.com. And hyperventilating here and running out of air, so I should shut up. So anyway, thanks for checking us out, guys out there. Have a great day. be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and smile. Play your damn mask off and smile. All right, whenever you can, as much as possible. So, thanks for checking it out. Hope you have a great day. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Dave Henderson on the Rock Pile. Talk to you soon. Bye.